How would it feel to have a thriving fitness business and have the freedom to enjoy life at the fullest? Well, that is exactly what the Trainer Revenue Multiplier Show is going to give you. My name is Mathew Park. This is Jaime Filer.
Hey guys.
And we are here to serve.
Welcome to the Trainer Revenue Multiplier Show. As always, my name is Jaime Filer, and I am excited to co-host this podcast with the man himself today, the professor, Mr. Mathew Park. How are you doing, Mathew?
Where's my glasses for the professor? I got to find my glasses for you.
If we were on Zoom, I bet you there would be a virtual background with the like a giant college classroom and a lot of expensive leather-bound books in the background. And your blue light glasses. Obviously, we need
100%. Can't miss the blue light glasses for sure.
Well, Matt, I am excited. I'm excited that you and I get to do this again. Always love. I feel like when you're on, I am a guest on your podcast.
I feel like I'm being interviewed by you, which kind of is cool because it's like we're like going back and forth, like this power back and forth mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah, either way it works. Either way it works. So today's topic is one very, very close to both of our hearts and our minds, and it's essentially success at what cost? Matt, what made you, because you, even though I host the podcast, you still come up with the topics each week. So why success at what cost?
Great question. So I wrote the blog post this week. I mentioned in the blog post, I was actually questioning making this exact blog because I was like, it's kind of going against the grain of what normal conventional social media is promoting as far as like grind harder, work more hours, work 24/7, sleep less hours, and just hustle all the time. And I do believe that's important to be aware and conscious of because you got to work smart and hard to grow your business. You can't just not work. But I've gone through enough experiences and seen enough of our clients who have worked too much, too long, and burn out and end up either, having a stress overload, going too far, too fast, getting really heavy amounts of anxiety, end up in the hospital, or just getting, really just having mental burnout, right? I think it's very important to bring that up because I think people right now are almost not talking about it because it's almost like taboo talk. Balance is almost like taboo talk. So I figured this is a good time for, you and I to have this discussion together collectively because obviously both of us have faced it, faced burnout, high stress, anxiety, growing a business, the demands of the demands of a relationship, family, you traveling back and forth to Canada all the time with your mom. Like all these things are going on around us. They're not disappearing, but how do you keep growing and still have that life without at what cost, right?
I love that. So you do have some strategies, but before we get into the strategies to overcome burnout and how you can still be successful, let's talk about what it looks like when you lose, when you're working 16 to 20 hour days, when you're grinding. What are the potential downfalls, pitfalls, anything that could occur to you and your business?
I'm going to say exactly what happened to me. I got addictive behaviors. Number 2, I was in the hospital for 2 days at one point, actually almost twice. Number 3, no one actually knows this, I actually ended up almost getting a divorce with my current wife, which kind of sounds crazy. And lost touch with my family, and close friends. Like these are things that I'm sharing a little bit more now because I want people to know that this is part of life a little bit, but it's also something that don't feel bad about it because I felt guilty about all these things. It's just part of the journey of growth. But I now accept it as like, this was part of my journey. Now it's time to learn how to overcome it and how to step forward into where you want to go. So that's what I went through. I'm curious, Jaime, what actually was the case in your case is my question to you.
So definitely burnout. And for me, it was, a period of time where I lost my light for personal training. Matt, ever since you've known me, the fitness industry has been my passion, right? Regardless of what I've been doing in the fitness industry, whether it's the editor of a magazine, running my own business, being a business coach, I am obsessed with the fitness industry. And I went through a period of time while my business was growing where I wanted nothing to do with it. Right. I was debating going back to journalism because I was so burnt out of talking and seeing people because I was grinding so hard. My clients weren't making it any more difficult on me. You, as my business coach, certainly weren't making it difficult on me. I was doing it to myself. And as a result, I had a resentment for you as my business coach and for my clients who, again, were not doing anything differently. So that's what burnout looked like to me. But the other thing I think isn't just a pulling back when you are working so hard and your light dimming, but sometimes people go hard and, the cliche of climbing the ladder of success requires you to crush a few rungs, right? So, you mentioned almost getting divorced. We have friends who will hop on calls in the middle of a kayaking adventure, let's say, right? When we're supposed to be out in the wilderness, but like they're taking a call. And yeah, on one hand, you respect the hustle, but on the other hand, why are you taking a call in the middle of the wilderness? Like,
Yeah.
I think you're missing out a little bit. You know what I mean?
I agree. I think it's funny because we, more than ever, I would find that I think we pull up on our phones and there's got to be every second post something about going harder, going stronger, look at my car, never quit, never give up. Again, very important things if we're aware and using them in certain capacities.
Right.
But I find now people are measuring success based on somebody else, not where they actually need to go with their level of their business or what they believe is for them. I've realized now that I won't compromise my family or my kids or my wife for the bottom dollar. And I won't compromise my team for it either, right? The people that actually care in my team, that they're on our bus. I won't compromise those things anymore. Even if it means we're going to miss one sale, that's okay. We'll get 5 more, of the right ones coming in. I think people, they get stuck in that. And that was me for many years. I'm sure it was for you too, Jim, by the way, that we get stuck that if we don't get that thing or we don't have that material thing or we don't go that hard, we're not good enough.
Yeah.
And that's misleading because it's actually not true. We're all good enough in a way that we define it for ourselves. But sometimes you have to go through the really rough patches, the dark closets, under the covers, like look at all this stuff that is shitty to look at. But once you address it and you look at it head on, face to face, you now own it. It doesn't own you anymore.
Yeah.
That's a big thing with success, I think, is that, success is different for everybody.
Agreed. And I think, when Ross back in the day did his golden triangle presentation and we spoke about trinkets they were a prize for hitting the milestone. They were not the milestone. You don't work hard to get a Lambo. When you sign 10 clients with the intention to serve and impact, and you've made your first 6 figures, then you can buy a Lambo. But the goal isn't the Lambo. The goal is the 10 clients. And to pat yourself on the back, you get the things. So really, we shouldn't be competing with each other for things. You should be, competing with each other to have more impact and help more people and serve more.
I love that. And I want to ride off of that with, I believe each of us, if we're in the same field or not in fitness, is our job should be how can we level and serve that person to make them better? Because if we can do more of that, it will make us better. And it's almost less of trying to, I'm going to beat and kill you, to how can I make you better? How can I make you more of a champion or help you get over those challenges better? Because if I do that for you, it will help me be a better person, right? And that's, to me, is a circle of abundance as opposed to the downward spiral of scarcity.
Agreed. So what is interesting about that in terms of scarcity and abundance is that we have, I believe it's in module 6 or 7, when we talk about the sales call.
Yeah.
One of the strategies that you give us in TRM is you decide what you're willing to negotiate on and what you're not. And I think that's another really important indicator of success at what cost. Now, bringing it back to your point about scarcity and abundance, is if I'm so nervous about making the next sale or about losing clients that I'm willing to compromise my own value and go down to, let's say, $100 a month, That's also success at what cost? Because now I'm going to have, I don't know, an influx of clients coming in at only $100 a month because that's all they think I'm worth. And that's what I'm willing to accept for myself. Imagine the number of questions, comments, and concerns you're going to get from people who are paying that really low ticket price.
That is bang on. And that leads to burnout, because now let's say that trainer has 30 clients like that.
Yeah.
And we both know those clients ask 3 times the questions.
Right. 100%. They'll take advantage, right? They got a deal. They got a whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. So it comes into almost your terminology, Jaime, of those boundaries, right? Those boundaries, like when you took your silver package out for your business, that was a beautiful move, scary as heck for you. But now you leveled into where you want your business to go for Filer training, which allowed you to coach more now in TRM as a mentor.
Yep.
That's a core values choice for you. That's beautiful because it aligns to where you want to go for you, nobody else.
Could not agree more. 100%. So now that we've talked about the dark, let's bring ourselves out into the light, the actual success part. Matt, I've pulled up your blog here. How can a fitness professional have a thriving business and still have a life? Number 1, find basic habits, a routine that works, and stick to it. What does that mean?
That's for you because you're a habit person. I want you to share that one, Gina. That's your jam.
Okay. All right. Fair. So my basic habit always starts off the same way. It's Katie and I eating breakfast at the table together at the same time, because we always get up at 6:20. And we say, what is one thing you're looking forward to today? Whether last night went to crap, whether you've got a million things on your mind going into today, whether, I don't know, you've prepared yourself for the day or not, we make each other pick one thing we're looking forward to and we say it out loud. And then whatever else happens, happens. Then she goes her way. I take a look at my to-do list, which was written the night before. I see who's getting invoiced. Therefore, we'll need a new program. I see who I have sales calls or business calls with. And then my day is just all execution.
Wow. I love that. That is so well. Nothing more than that. That was awesome, Jaime.
Which goes into number 2. You say spend time each day planning and prioritizing. Now, what I'm going to add to this is spend time each day planning and prioritizing the next day. You should not spend time planning your current day. If you're at that stage, you're probably already overwhelmed. The prioritization and the planning should have taken place the night before. Matt, is that accurate? Would you agree?
100% correct, Jaime. Yeah. And I will start with one day first, like the next day first. Once you get that down for a couple of weeks or a month, then maybe plan your week out and then start there, right? And then maybe as you get better, you plan a month out. That's just going to evolve as you grow as a person.
Yep, agreed. Keep a tight inner circle of the right people and spend time with them on a consistent basis. Why is this important?
Oh my gosh, that should be number 1. Now, I think that we're all energy beings. We're floating with energy from top to bottom. We're all atoms and molecules. That's science driven. So if you're around people who are literally, vampires to you, or sucking you, I don't care how positive you are, eventually you're going to feel the effect, right? Now, if you are around, I don't care if it's 1, 2, 3, 5, or 10 people that they want you to win, they want you to succeed, they want to help you get through the challenge and help get you to the next level. What is the difference on that energy compared to how's the weather? Oh my God, that was a terrible day yesterday with what happened on the news. Oh my God, do you watch the news yet? I don't watch the news. I haven't watched it in freaking 3-4 years. I don't give a shit about the news. And the thing is too, is if we can infuse ourselves with energy chargers, as opposed to energy drainers or vampires, that's what it comes in. But here's the other thing too, I believe, saying, because it's almost like the phrase has to be complete by saying consistently. Yeah. Because doing it once every so often is good. Doing it every week, that's why we have platinum every week. That's where you win, because you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to go through challenges. We have platinum every Friday for a reason. We have 10K every Tuesday with you run, Jaime, for a reason.
Exercise limitless thinking, get away from mediocrity. So this goes back to the scarcity versus abundant mindset. This goes back to, old versus new version, that exercise. It goes back to self-worth and limiting beliefs. Anything we preach, pretty much everything we preach in TRM 10K all the way through platinum, but just, when people, I heard an interesting podcast that says people say unbelievable about things that they're currently looking at. So how is anything unbelievable if you're looking at it?
That's a great point. Here's one little fun little thing that might add some sauce to it as well is, if you're going to have lunch with a friend or dinner with a friend, I always have a fun thing with me, and I'm looking forward to having this with you and Katie one day, Jaime, is campfire dream talk. I think campfire dream talk or lunch dream talk or dinner dream talk is freaking exciting because you have combos about what's your future look like? What does mine look like? How can we work together? How can you do this? All this, that is exciting because that's what we call limitless. You're using your mind potential with those who believe as well.
I love that. Oh my God. Okay. So that goes back to keep a tight inner circle, right? Like I remember, Matt, I told you when my friends came over and we had a vision board making night, right? It's the same idea.
Yep.
Understand flow and incorporate it daily. Help us understand flow, Matt.
You bet. This is totally taken from Gay Hendricks and Genius Zone, right? Genius Zone is understanding exactly what are high leverage things you do that generate flow for you, that are things you can do on a regular basis. So for example, if you like to make videos, schedule videos in your day every single, at least 5 days a week. If you like to write, schedule writing every single day. Sales call sometimes isn't flow, but it should be flow for now till you grow your business.
Yep.
You're putting the flow in that is high leverage and keeping it in the schedule.
Perfect. So things you enjoy doing and the reason it's called flow, guys, is because it could go for 3 hours and then you realize it's 3 hours later because you were in flow.
Yep.
As opposed to item number 6, understand boundaries and stick to them. So what are you not willing to negotiate? Matt has boundaries around his family and his time with his wife. He indicated that. I have boundaries around working on vacation. My wife allots me 60 minutes every day, and that's all I have to work. And that's it. Like, for example, yesterday I was on the leaders call, which was my hour. And I chose that hour, which meant that no emails and no programming got done. And that's totally okay. That was a boundary and I stuck to it.
Thank you, Jaime. That was actually, I didn't actually know until actually right now. It's kind of cool you shared that. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay. It was more important.
I have nothing more to share than that. That was perfect for the share for boundaries.
If you want to grow, talk to the right people and the right prospects consistently.
Correct. So talking to people is something that you can't get around that when you're growing a fitness business. You have to talk to people, whether it's on a phone, on a Zoom, face to face. Until you're at a level in your business, obviously maybe where you have a team, right? And still at that point, you talk to your team, you talk to you're always making those connections. Now, the right prospects when you're growing is, obviously when you first begin growing, that obviously is an issue when you're trying to find the right prospects. But as you grow, being on those combo with the people that obviously, that are qualified prospects as you do your marketing over time is also very important as you leverage your business. So that's the point there.
Sure. I would also add, Matt, never talk to the right people, coaches and mentors, right? Don't just talk to people below you that you're trying to sell or people around you who know as much as you know. Talk to people who know, right? Be the dumbest person in the room.
Yeah.
Perfect. Which leads into the next point. Never stop being curious, although don't be a professional student who doesn't act.
Correct. So don't be in school for 4 years and, that's the wrong way to word this. Sorry. What I mean by this basically is don't use school as a crutch to achieve success, because we've seen people come in TRM who had their 4-year degree, they went back for another 4-year degree, went back for another year of school, and they use it as an excuse on why they can't get 5 more clients, right? What we're saying here is be curious to growth. Don't stop learning, but don't use it as a crutch either towards success to your business.
Yep. I love that. The other thing, this actually goes into the next one. So I'm not going to, okay. Do the right work that moves things closer towards your goal. Okay. So it's great to have a 4-year degree, highly respectable, makes you very credible. But that second 4-year degree and those 2 years after, that's something you'd have to weigh out whether that is the right work or not. Because spending so much time in school, while highly valuable and again makes you credible, doesn't make you relatable. right? Matt, you were a personal trainer back in the day. How many clients actually asked you where your certification was from, or whether you had a college degree versus a personal training certification, right? Like we have a bunch of people in TRM now who are registered dietitians, right? They went to school specifically for nutrition. They're absolutely allowed to make meal plans, whereas you and I are not. Okay, cool. But then if they just keep doing more and more school and less like street smart stuff, they're not getting any closer to the actual 10K mark.
Correct. Now, if you mix in street smart with book smart and sprinkle in some learning as well, and you mix those three, that cocktail along with action to your business, you have a home run, because we are huge condoners of learning and growing. And if your goal is to have your 8-year degree in it as a doctor, then that's awesome. Go win and do it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you can make it happen. We have the rare person do that. But if your goal is to build like we have people come in TRM who really can't even afford to pay their grocery bill, but they're spending $5,000 on next school. I'm like, wait a second, what is their priority here first? You can go buy a $20 book, learn your hormone stuff, or talk to Jeff Black about hormones, and then get some help on your business to get your next 5 clients, and then use that income you're making to take you to school next year.
So we tie in, we do have somebody in TRM right now who's doing both. Yeah. But he has not neglected one for the other. He still has, I believe, at least 15 to 20 online and in-person clients while getting his degree. It is possible to do both. There are not all of his eggs in one basket. So it's possible. Yeah. And it's funny you mentioned asking Jeff Black about gut health, because item number 10 that you have listed is ask for help, learn from those who have already done it. Yeah, that's exactly it. And a good example out there is, like I say, Jeff Black. If you want to learn hormone stuff, go to the expert who knows hormone health. If you want to go to optimizing, time around your schedule or social media, talk to Jaime Filer about your business on that. You want to learn business fundamentals, marketing, and like building your offers, talk to me. The thing is, when you're looking at your process right now, guys, this goes for all of us. Sometimes, and I did this last month, by the way, I was telling Jim before the call. Yeah. We get scared to ask for help because we think we know. Well, listen, you know what? As soon as we get in that knowing, that's the you coming in saying it's protecting you. But when we just say, I need some help over here. Maybe it's a mentor to go and become better in hormones, or a mentor to show me how to grow the business, or a mentor in social media. Yeah, you will literally take time back, and it'll be a gift to you that you can now enjoy more of what you want. I could not agree more. And I think if you've already started by listening to this podcast, you're on the right track. This might be where you're at in terms of asking for help. Do you know Matt and I personally? No. Have you messaged us on Instagram personally? Probably not. But is this your version of asking for help? Yes. So we are infinitely proud of you. We hope that you will reach out personally and individually, so you will let us get to know you and your personality and your business model and all that. And hopefully we can prevent you guys from either burning out or being successful, but crushing your relationships and your physical health and maybe a bunch of other stuff along the way. I love that, Jaime. I love that. That was just action-packed from start to finish. Matt, do you have anything else you want to say to end this show? If you guys are wanting help, ask us for help. Seriously, I'm being real with you guys, because it's funny, because we get coaches coming in TRM that they wanted help 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or a year ago, and they were scared. And listen, we've all been there. But if you guys right now are wanting to grow your business right now, and you want to get those clients, or you want to learn how to get freedom or time back, we'd love to serve you and talk to you. And if it's a fit, great. If not, totally is fine too. That's all I want to share. Yeah. We're going to leave the ball in your court, is what Matt's saying. Matt, thank you so much. This was the best. As always, it is such a pleasure to have you on our show. Guys, if you found value in today's episode, please share it on your Instagram or Facebook. Be sure to tag at Jaime91, at Mindset Matt, at Trainer Revenue Multiplier. We are also on all the major podcast platforms like Apple, iTunes, Stitcher, and Spotify. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. We also go live typically every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Trainer Revenue Multiplier Facebook page. Matt, thank you again so much. Wishing you an amazing Thursday. Thanks, Jaime.